Welcome to the righteous sphere. We separate the gray areas over here. We don't do the lying like those other places. No. We don't do no fucking lying over here. You're gonna get the truth.
Truth makes those who are guilty of having deceived the people feel uneasy because they know the truth uncovers a lie and destroys it. Again, there are those who have always feared that someone would come along that black folk would really listen to, that they didn't control, and that would mean possibly the unification of the masses of black people, and this some fear as a sign of the end of their power and authority over our lives.
There's some early warning signs that a parent, step-parent, dad, mom, whomever can be on alert for before it gets to that point where they're completely being pushed out.
Yeah, so especially for teenagers when they don't want to be a part of the family. They're putting up a fight. They want to be in a room. They don't want to be home. Or they'll say they may not feel good on the inside. They may have, I had anxiety. I didn't even know it was anxiety. I thought it was normal. They will get mouthy. They will fight back, angry, and they can't tell you why. Because I wouldn't have been able to explain unless I grew up, raised my son myself. Well, yeah, I lost the attachment to my mom or dad. That's why it's uncomfortable. There's a new person there. I think she's great. I think he's great. But they can't replace my mom or dad.
Salute, and welcome to class, gang. Keep in mind that we don't cater to any groups, gangs, communities, religions, feelings, or emotions. We cater to the truth, we cater to common sense, and we do not complicate it. All right, guys, so we here, and we got a Love Dorsey behind the scenes Zoom, guys, talking about co-parenting. And keep in mind, this is one of the biggest problems we have in our community, guys. This is where the hoodlums and the prostitutes and the shooters and the gangbangers, this is where they're raised, bro. This is where they come up. This is the factory, guys. This is the factory. And this is why we go so hard on our sisters and these mothers. This is why we go so hard on them. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to be better as a whole, then it's going to start with these individual relationships. You know what I mean? It takes two to make a baby. You know what I mean? We got to always remember that. Even when our feelings get involved and we want to alienate the other person, because it takes two to make a baby now. And we can use that when it benefits us. But if we forget the assignment is that the kids that we bring into this world need access to the mom and the dad. Not one, both. No matter how you feel, that's a fact. And we gonna have to fix that relationship so we could play games and we could worry about ourselves and talk about all these different topics until we fix that relationship. And we chasing our own tail. We playing games. You know what I mean? Until we address that, all that shit we want to talk about with the race card and the white man and the oppressor and this and that shit is cap. But today we got Love Dorsey going in. She correcting the wrongs. Because I told you, in this community, they normalize misinformation. They normalize dumb shit. So they got the people running around here, the majority, running around here making choices and decisions off of dumb programming and conditioning, expecting to get good results. If you make a choice and a decision off some dumb shit, you're gonna get some dumb shit every single time. So let's go on and get into this love joint. Sit back, relax. Salute to my squad. Salute to Toxic Ring Scandals and anybody else we got tuned in today. Righteous Fear, undefeated.
And because his kids, or the kid ain't finna get shit, like you said, the brother said, unless I be with him, right? So 2 things to consider. In your specific situation, if the man is in survival mode, right? His first priority is what, Classy?
Himself.
Right. Slave concept that a person is going to be able to provide, and from a healthy space, put first things outside of self while self is in fight or flight mode is fucking absurd.
And keep in mind, y'all be sleeping with these survival mode dudes, ladies. You see how quick she can say survival mode? You lay down with that survival mode dude. Or you put him in survival mode. Which one? Because it can't be, it's one or the other. Either you met the man and he was balling, and as soon as he merged with you, you brought him down to survival mode. It's either that, or you laid down with a cute survival mode nigga. You see how you laid down with a survival mode dude, then decided to bring a baby into this world, knowing how this world do us. We need more people, more women, and more guys to be able to address that. Call that out. Because that's where our problems in the black community start. Like, that's where it starts.
Scientifically, it doesn't make sense. Logically, it doesn't make sense. But in our culture, we've made it make sense by repeating it over the generations. This old slave mentality that I'm going to be beat up, broken, legs half hanging off, can't barely feed myself or find a positive reason to want to wake up, right? I got all this going on, but I'm going to be great at parenting and doing a good job at being positive, and I'm going to call my baby mother, and I'm going to be there and smile in those children's face. The average human being is not fucking capable of doing that if their basic human needs aren't met, right? That's the first part of it. The second part is what can look like someone ain't taking care of some kids because they want to be with you is simply that dealing with you, the experience with you, how you talk to them, how you act, how you are with them is different when they're in a relationship with you than when they're not. So the idea is I may not at all, and this goes for some mothers and some fathers, want to be with you, but the behavior I get when I'm not with you is so unpleasant that yes, it looks like I'm chasing being with you, but really I'm just trying to get the treatment from you that I get in regards to considering my perspective or overlooking certain things that I got when we work together. Does that make sense to you, Classy?
I mean, it makes sense.
No,
it makes
don't.
sense. But
Don't ask questions, Classy.
Tell me, go.
That didn't make, you took too long to answer. It ain't registered. So keep it real and ask questions, man. Ask questions. If you don't get it, don't say you get it and you don't get it. That's not gonna help you. Ask questions, man.
I don't think that's my situation.
So tell me, because this is what I'm asking you. I asked you earlier, what do you think your biggest obstacle is? And we had the same conversation on a one-on-one call. You gave me the same exact verbiage that you just used. Your story hasn't switched up yet. But I put into perspective when we talked, how you come off. It's very niggerish. It's very manly. It's very masculine. He got out and I told him, we don't need his money. We need your time. A person in survival mode. But when it is we, because the idea of co-parenting is your child needs your time because as a mother, I need you involved with this child, right? So there is a we need you. And even right now, when you're trying to clear up that we don't need you, it's putting into context what I'm explaining about how you coming off. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that it's bad. I want you to realize how you come off.
Yeah, I do. I'm very, I do.
Can anybody relate to what I'm explaining to her?
I could.
Yeah, she's so obnoxious and she come off so masculine, and she's been coming off so masculine that she don't even see anything wrong with it now. Remember I told you guys, when you sit around shit, you become it. Everybody else will smell it, but you won't smell it because you is it. And that's what's happening right now in our community with our sisters. They have become so masculine that they can't get it off. They can't shake it off.
I can relate. I kind of feel like, I feel like that with my son. Like, I feel like it's the money. Like, my son got everything he need. PlayStation 5s, Christmas, he doing stuff for birthdays. But again, he ain't come to a football game. My son played football for a whole season. Mm-hmm. Or when he go visit my son at the little detention center, it ain't no hate when you walk up. It's no love shown. It's just like straight into that. Just like, I can't even explain it because I don't know. I'm not a man, so I don't really understand it. That's why.
Exactly. And sis, what it is men and women, we are different. We are raised different. Our mothers did different things for us, and she did different things for y'all. And then we have different mothers. So it's different mindsets on these modern women who raised us. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that as a man, we don't function the same as y'all women. What's love to you may not be what's love to us. How we love on you and express and show love, that might not be what's love to you. But when we have a kid, you don't get to pick or worry about my half. Likewise, sir, I don't get to worry about your half, right? You get to make decisions all day, every day. And I can't say a mother effing thing. And the same thing goes, because it takes two to make a baby. And the assignment is that these kids need both parents to be balanced.
I feel like it's like we don't understand for real from the man, from him.
It's a human, but listen, let me tell you something. It ain't this part that you're talking about. It ain't a human thing. It's a man thing. A lot of y'all.
That's what I said. I said it's a man thing.
A lot, but no, Italy. Listen, it's not a man thing. It's a human thing. You can't, and I want you to really understand. You cannot expect these cuddles in amounts of love shown with something that I have not yet had my own abilities to bond with outside of your influence as the mother.
Yeah, and see, that's why I'm like, I understand where she's coming from, but I'm like, the influence, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I feel it. I get where she's coming from.
So, I'm sorry to cut you off. So, just like you just said, you want to get your own experience. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell him. Like I know you just came home. I'm not being aggressive when I'm telling him, but I'm just really laying it out. I know you just came home. I'm not asking you to give us no money. I'm not asking you to shower him with anything. All I'm asking you to do is spend time with him and get to know him.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect.
Can I say something?
I'll let you, Frank, but 1 second, right? There is nothing unrealistic about what she's saying, but there are certain human things that she's not considering, right? The human things are being real with yourself. What do men get valued for in this day and age? No, I want Classy to answer.
Money.
Hold on, because y'all saying it. I want Classy to say it.
You said, what was the question?
What do men, when you look about how the world operates right now, what do men get valued for?
For most women, it's what they got to offer.
Okay.
What they can bring to.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right. So you saying to butt that on and trailing your voice off. What is the reality of the day and age that we live in? Regardless of what you verbally told your baby daddy, when you look about the world and just perceive yourself to be a man, what makes men feel valuable, have confidence and self-esteem per the standards of the world?
The tangible shit that they have.
Okay.
Shit that they can't die with.
Perfect.
Shit that ain't important.
Stuff that ain't important because you saying they important? That it ain't important?
Gotta.
What
That's exactly where we getting at, guys. Y'all got to learn how to see other perspectives. Was trash to you may be gold to the next person. Every day somebody is born, somebody dies. Somebody goes up, somebody goes down. Nigga get hired, nigga get fired. It's just a matter of what season you're in.
I'm trying to grow you up in this moment because if you I don't think you hear how you come off, right? You saying shit that ain't important. Every bit of how the world works says that this stuff is important. You give a fuck because Classy say it ain't important because you want this man to come and move with your son how you want him to move. The world say niggas gotta have money. The world say niggas gotta have a job. The world say when niggas walk in rooms and they can't bring shit to the table, they ain't shit. Don't give a fuck because one baby mama say that don't matter. The world say my nigga Frank better come in the room with something to provide with. Frank better come in the room with something to give. Frank better come, it ain't gotta be no designer, but Frank better come in the motherfucking room as a man with a child with something to motherfucking give. So, to me as a man, getting out of prison, probably coming from a lifestyle where I'm not highly educated, right? One baby mama showing pity on me. Pity. Men don't want no fucking pity. They want respect, right? My baby, and I'm giving it to you from the male view. One baby mama.
And mind you guys, keep in mind, they're talking about guys coming home from prison. So these are women who got that addiction to these dudes that make bad choices and decisions. You see how they got so much standards and they got so much qualifications for this man to see their son, but they didn't have those same standards and qualifications for that same man to go up in them unprotected though. Do you see why these things are these are the topics that need to be addressed? These are the topics that need to be addressed. It's salute to the sisters that are going to the Love Dorsey lives and trying to see about themselves. That ain't cool with just knowing they fucked up. That they trying to invest in themselves. Cause they pay a whole lot of money to get screamed on, yo. And love don't mind. She'll scream on you too. Y'all see it. Y'all hit that like button.
Showing pity on me and telling me, oh, you just got out, so we don't want anything from you tangible, nothing materialistic, no money. In your mind, it's saying, I'm working with you. To the male ego, it's saying, nigga, I know you ain't got shit, so we ain't even finna ask you for shit. Just bring your poor ass around.
Exactly, but you don't see it like that because men and women, we don't interpret shit the same. We don't look at shit the same. But you thinking you doing something, but all you doing is gaslighting us. In reality, we know what time it is because we know what the world tells us. So what you telling us ain't matching, sis. So we know you're lying, you're bluffing, you buttering up, you're tickling our chin. You know what I mean? And Katie, you right on. Shorty in the live stream, she gonna end up wasting her investment because she don't know how to be a good listener. She know how to tell us her problems, but she don't know how to listen.
Your son and give up that time that you got. That's what it's saying. A lot of you as women and baby mamas, you don't know how to look at shit for what it really is. You live in a bubble, a world of delusion that only has to do with your perspective of the situation. The stuff I'm saying ain't hard to understand if you get out your fucking feelings.
I get it, but I promise.
Exactly. You don't get it because you but. Just relax. Get out your feelings, yo. The learning and the healing is not going to start until you get out your feelings and the need to be right. You see, the ego wants you to be right. You want to be right, and it ain't about right or wrong. It's about understanding where you go wrong, understanding the information that you don't have and you need to obtain. That's what it's about, man. But you want to prove that it really wasn't you and it was the baby. You want to stump the teacher now. You want to go up there and try to stump the social science. The social science are the facts, man.
with our apartments with everything in me. I don't mean it like that.
I didn't say classy. I never said that. That's what you meant. The stuff.
No, I hope that's not the way he's looking at it.
Classy.
There we go.
I want y'all to hold on because I really. That's what I'm saying. That's why when you first started talking, I asked Frank to say why that man don't come around. Ain't no nigga that's used to busting you down dick wise, right? Having a certain authority and respect in the room, coming in off of a jail or a prison bed to no fucking pity from you to come around no child that you got the most influence and authority over, that he don't fucking know what you done been saying about him, what you done talk. Don't mean you said anything wrong. Don't mean that this your fault that this going on. The world say, not classy, not love, not Italy, not Frank. The world says that men supposed to have something. The world says that men are supposed to come to the table with something. Anything other than what the world says looks like pity to a nigga.
Miss Classy, may I share with you? Because
I want, before anybody say anything else, I want to know that she understands the perspective that I'm offering.
Yeah, that's why I was going to share with her and explain to her
what he may be feeling.
Correct. That's classy. That's all I'm trying to put into perspective. Never once was it about your intentions on what you communicated being wrong. As a woman, as a mother, what you're asking for is very reasonable. But here is where we go wrong as baby mamas. We sit in this bubble from only our perspective, and we think that because that's not what we meant, he shouldn't take it like that, because we don't take what we're saying and reflect it against the real world.
Demon came with his penis and put it in my mouth, and then he came again and he slept with me last week, and I told the pastor that I need deliverance again, and since then my private part has been itching.
It's been itching?
Yes.
Okay. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Demon came.
Which you don't have control over.
Without saying that, bro.
We don't have control over the real world. Do you understand, Classy?
I understand.
Okay, who else wanted to add something?
I did want to add something because I have two daughters. One is 5, and her dad did a 4.5-year bid starting at the age of 2.5 until she was 7. And I have a 5-year-old whose father is currently doing a 15-year Fed bid.
God damn! Y'all love these jail niggas. What's up with y'all and these jail niggas, yo? And then it's like, wow, never learn from their mistake because they never focus on them. It's always the man. It's always the man, but then they somehow...
We go wrong as baby mamas. We sit in this bubble from only our perspective, and we think that because that's not what we meant, he shouldn't take it like that, because we don't take what we're saying and reflect it against the real world, which you don't have control over.
Without saying that, bro.
We don't have control over the real world. Do you understand, Classy?
I understand.
Okay, who else wanted to add something?
I did want to add something because I have two daughters. One is 5, and her dad did a 4.5-year bid starting at the age of 2.5 until she was 7. And I have a 5-year-old whose father is currently doing a 15-year Fed bid. So I can just take it from the perspective. My oldest daughter's father has been out 3 years, and he is just now, within these last couple of months, I say 2-3 months, starting to feel himself as a man. I make 6 figures as a nurse practitioner. It's plenty of times I could have had foot the bill. Hey, baby, you don't have to pay no bills. Come on, let's go. Here's a...
So do you mean to tell me you focused on being a nurse practitioner, but you cannot focus enough to pick better men? Like you just, I don't get it, yo. Priorities, ladies, priorities. Man, god damn.
Families who can spend time together and do this and do that, and he didn't feel comfortable as a man to go. Because as a man, I don't want you paying for everything when we go out, baby.
Right.
Y'all go ahead and I'm going to stay home. Had nothing to do with him bonding with his daughter or spending time. He had to find himself as a man to feel like he could take on even any more responsibility in parenting. Not that he didn't help. I could say before he got locked up, he was involved with his daughter, but we split when she was 9 months old. I had to send my 9-month-old baby. I lived in Tampa, 90 miles away, and allow her to go spend time with her father every single weekend. And it was hard to do that with an infant. But that's her dad, and he had a right to his child, and my daughter had a right to a father. So I don't know what y'all's relationship was before he went to prison, but he was involved in his daughter's life. So when he got locked up, we went to see him every week for the first 17 months when he was in the county jail. I kept my daughter around his family, so that might be why it was a little bit different. So when he came home, of course, he was with his daughter on a day-to-day basis. So we talk about this all the time. The relationship you have with your child's father a lot of times determines their relationship with the child.
But what determines the relationship? What determines the relationship? Your what? Your perspective.
Of course.
You have a more mature perspective in regards to the decisions, because I've talked to her one-on-one. She has a mature perspective in regards to her role and why the situation looks the way it looks, and it allows her to see the other person's perspective. A lot of us, we lack the maturity in regards to this. So we believe whatever it is that we want for the child that matches what we view as the correct way the other person should move is what it is. And that's what we talk about. That's what we say. That's what we tie our emotions to. That's our demeanor towards the situation, and anything we react to, the way that we respond, all is tied back to that.
Can I add something?
Yep.
So for a man, like, especially he got kids and shit, if he ain't got no money, when he come around any woman's or a baby mama or a wife, he want his actions to match what's in his head. He already know what he want to do. But if he feel if he can't do it, it's better to not come around and take that grief from you instead of come around, get that feeling of not doing, then the looks you give them, and then on top of that, what you saying, it makes them try to stay away even more. So when you come back, it's never knows.
So Frank, and Frank,
be providers.
Right, and let me keep it real with you, Frank. Half these women don't give a fuck about that. Everything you say, they don't give a fuck about. I'm giving it to you raw. Outside of the groups of women that interact with my platform, these females don't be giving a fuck about that. All they care about is what they told theyself the nigga should be doing. And regardless that he's a human, regardless that he has his own perspectives and his own viewpoints and his own, way that he wants to integrate back into the child's life or deal with his children, regardless of him being allowed to have any of that, a bitch be only caring about what she fucking cares about, how she perceives and views the situation, what she felt like was right or wrong about how to move. And this is why there's so much conflict when it comes to co-parenting. It's the inability to be a fucking human and look at life from a realistic perspective rather than what you feel like rather than how you feel like it should be for your child. Because you're not, the mature statement is you are not in control of how another individual fathers or mothers. Say it again. So if anybody write anything down in regards to co-parenting, I am not in control of how another individual fathers or mothers. You are not in control of how another individual fathers or mothers. Now, with respect to beliefs, there are a lot of us that we were raised to believe that we are. There are a lot of us that we've sat in toxic family circles and watched enough bullshit on TV and reality TV that we think that we can. But grown folk understand I am not in control of my baby daddy fathering the way that I want him to father. Nor is he in control of me mothering the way that I want to mother. What I have to do is be grown enough to say what Sierra said, that the child is owed, is obligated to have a mother and a father. They are obligated to have access to both parents, regardless of how one fathers or how one mothers. Do y'all understand that, what I said?
If you want to keep them pissed off too.
Do y'all understand what I said though? Do y'all understand what I'm explaining?
Yes. I have a question if I can.
What's your question?
Like when I spoke about my problem with the co-parenting, like our relationship, he both of us focused on our relationship and we're not able to co-parent. So like if we're broken up, he doesn't come around like that. So I'm just
treatment
trying to figure out like
treatment. Our ego tells us, oh, if I don't go with him, he don't come around. Treatment,
exactly.
Behavior
you don't
towards
know
the
if that's a fact or not. You don't know if that's a fact or not, sis. Good catch, love. Good catch. And it be what they tell themselves. You got to be only true to yourself. You got to be real with yourself now. You can't create these scenarios in your head so you can feel good, so you can stroke your own ego. If that's not the case, that's not the case, ma'am. You don't know that to be for sure.
Person. So what if we're gonna have a mature conversation, like I was explaining in a possibility to the person that was speaking earlier, if I'm real, it's not that he has to be with me in order to be there for his children. My treatment of him, my attitude towards him, my demeanor, my energy, my behavior, my femininity, all of that stuff switches when we're not together. So what he's really after is better quality treatment outside of being together. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining?
Exactly. You're a miserable bitch because we're not in a relationship. So because we're not busting it wide open, unprotected anymore, you treat me different. So it's not that I want the relationship, you know what I mean? I need the communication that we was having while we was in that relationship. Now that we're not in that relationship, but you tell yourself, I want to sleep with you. I don't want to sleep with you. You're a horrible person to me now. I done seen you for what it is now. That's the last thing I want to do.
I do understand that. I just don't, I guess I don't know how to fix that.
Okay, so first things first, you and him are immature. When the order of business, and I want y'all to understand this, you can write it down. When the order of business is to raise a child, meaning I am not in a relationship with you. The order of our business, the point of us interacting is to parent a child, to raise these children, right? When that is the main reason why we interact with each other, when that is what we know each other for, right? That needs to be put first. So the fact that you or him give a fuck about anything from a relationship that y'all had, you're immature. And write that down. I want you to write that down in front of your face. I and my baby daddy are immature because we are worried about, we react to, we decide based on our perspective is still ran by relationship shit when we're supposed to be worrying about the child. Write that to yourself. Because the thing is, when it comes to co-parenting, in order to fix this shit, you have to start being honest with yourself about what the fuck you doing. Y'all immature. He's an immature ass nigga. You's an immature ass bitch. And I'm saying this respectfully for you to confront what's wrong so you can fix it. It is immature to know that children need to be raised and to know the world is a tough motherfucking space. It is immature to know this. You know this and he knows this. You know the world ain't no motherfucking cakewalk. Y'all know this. You know that them children eventually got to get out in the world. And instead of worrying about that, y'all worrying about some shit from a relationship. Y'all wasn't even fucking in no serious shit where you married, had to divorce, and got assets to split apart, right? You more worried about what he said to you or how you felt about that, or what you said to him, and he worried about what you did with this and who cheated and how you was talking to that other girl rather than your child getting their ass towed up in this world. You's an immature ass bitch and he's an immature ass nigga. The world will tie your kid the fuck up. The world will mold your kid based on the trends and the fads that's going on. While you worried about what a nigga did in a relationship or why he worried about what you did. It's people out here that's gonna eat your kid up like a motherfucking dog out here in this world. while you pussyfooting around with your baby daddy by some motherfucking emotions. It's motherfuckers out here waiting to get somebody that ain't on point with their money, ain't on point with their boundaries, ain't on point with their safety. They tie their ass the fuck up.
And then we stand around and wonder why the kids in our community ain't growing the right way. Because you got the sun fighting with the soil. You got the sun and the soil fighting. You got the one saying that it don't need the other. I could grow this damn seed on my own. And I ain't never seen that. You ain't never seen that. But we tell ourselves some stupid shit that we ain't never seen. Know what I mean? I tell y'all this all of the time. Flowers, the seed of a flower need more than just one source to grow. This is why niggas ain't growing.
It's halves and it's half the fuck nots. And see, this is our problem in our community. We don't understand the assignment don't got shit to do with how many times your baby daddy cheated on you or what he lied about. The assignment is, what can we both get out of one another that we could pour into the child so that the child can utilize it to navigate this crazy ass world?
Exactly, bro. The child is the seed. We want this seed to grow into a tree, right? So then the sun and the rain and all the elements, the soil gotta be fertile. Everything gotta align. We all need each other. Or we playing. We playing.
Does this help to the person that asked that question? Do you understand? Because I'm being brutally honest.
Salute to you too.
Yes, it does.
We have to start getting real with ourselves. We call ourselves grown. We got 2, 3 kids, but every bit of the way that we think, our inability to just look at shit for what it is, view the real world for what is actually going on, is adolescent life. When it comes to the matters of raising a young boy or a young girl, nobody gives a fuck about how many times that nigga cheated on you or popped you upside your head. We do not give a fuck. Grown folk worry about the well-being of the child. Because every bit of what you getting out of life is based on your choices. Every bit of what the child is getting out of life is based on your choices. You going through the consequences of your choices and your generational curses. The child is going through the consequences of your choices and your generational curses. The innocent one, the only victim.
Exactly. But we want to play dumb. We want to play dumb. And then we sit there and yell, fathers need to step up, when we know who control access to these kids. No parent should have to beg a judge for permission to see their own child. They're half. Because it takes 2 to make a baby. You see? It takes 2 to make a baby. So then why is there so many fathers that gotta go beat down the courts and gotta go fight with the courts? Back and forth, missing days out of work. They pay their money and they pay their child support. Now they provide for that household and they still can't see their kids going back and forth. That's more common than the deadbeats that y'all would like to create. That story of the dad having to go back and forth, the weekend dad story is more common than the deadbeats dad story. You know that?
I mean, the situation is the child. It's not you and your buckethead ass baby daddy. It's not. It is the kid. So when we talk about matters of co-parenting, there is what's called the list. And I'm going to explain that next after I let Christine talk. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, I was going to make a statement. Also, as far as us as older women, we got to be honest with the younger women that reach out. There's a girl that reaches out to me, and she says that she feel like if he don't respect her, he don't love her child. And I said that what he feels about you have nothing to do with your child. Exactly. You're making it about you. Yep. He don't like he's making it clear that he don't like her ass. He do not like her. He said, communicate through this app. Stop trying to talk to me. Drop my son off and move the fuck on. She think it's so mean. I said, because you still love him. You still love him. Your feelings is invested. You feel some type of way. Yep. So you're finding any way to try to trigger him. Leave that man the fuck alone. But he leave you and your son the fuck alone.
Yep. 100%. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, right? To put into perspective, and I'm just going to lay it out very real. If I had a company and y'all worked for me at my company, and every time there was any real uncomfortable moments at work at this company, I threatened to fire y'all. After about the 10th or 11th time of me saying, bitch, I'm gonna fire you, you ain't finna be working here, after a while, what is going to happen?
Oh, I'm quitting. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. Or if you don't actually quit, you're gonna develop an attitude of, I don't give a fuck. If you fire me, oh well. Right?
All right, guys, don't miss this message. We went over this in psychology school, in social studies. Don't miss this message coming up, because it's true. And this is why I tell my dads, don't worry about that deadbeat label. At some point, you gotta look your baby mother in the eye and you gotta ask her, bro, on some dead ass serious shit. Do you want a father for your child? And just be willing to deal with whatever she say. Cause she might say some fly shit, cause you know they always in their feelings. They always want to be sarcastic and want the upper hand. So she might say, I don't give a fuck. And you wash your hands and be done, bro. Wash your hands and be done. And don't miss this message.
Yes.
If you watch even children with a toy, right? And a person keeps throwing in the other child's face, I'm gonna take that from you if you don't do such and such. And you, over time, what happens to that little human being's attitude towards this thing you keep using as a pawn to control them? What do they eventually do? If I let one of y'all borrow an extra car I got, and every time y'all do or say something I don't like, I keep talking about how I'm gonna take this car away. Eventually, it's going to.
They can have that car and forget them in the car.
Okay, so you see how everybody in the group can understand this very common sense wise, the way that the basic part of our brain works. But then when it come down to kids, bitches get so delusional, like you don't understand why the fuck that man don't fuck with you or those children.
Absolutely, and she had to laugh. Homegirl in there gotta laugh for that. And we gonna go to commercial and be right back, yo.
Will you please stop balling up and folding up and so we can't even figure out what it is? It's gonna be $1 just laid out in there. It's all right. It won't hurt our feelings. We had to go to Family Dollar and buy iron. To iron out all the dollars, because we can't even tell what they are. I work in the trustee ministry, and we trying to go to Golden Corral too. By the time we iron out all the dollars, everything is closed. And we don't even cook on Sunday no more. So just lay it in the plate. It's still gonna be $1. Amen. Come on, y'all. Let's just get along. Come on, help us out, cause we ushers. We ushers. Amen. We here to serve. And if I let one of y'all borrow an extra car I got, and every time y'all do or say something I don't like, I keep talking about how I'm gonna take this car away. Eventually, it's going to.
They can have that car and forget them in the car.
Okay, so you see how everybody in the group can understand this very common sense wise, the way that the basic part of our brain works. But then when it come down to kids, bitches get so delusional, like you don't understand why the fuck that man don't fuck with you or those children. And it don't have shit to do with nobody hating the kids or not wanting to be a parent or being a bad person. Bitch, you done played pawn with them kids so much. A nigga said, fuck you. Just like you tell a bitch at work that keep coming around talking about how they gonna fire you. Bitch, do what you gonna do, ho. After a while, that's how it is. Male, female, child, anybody. It could be with a dress, a shoe, a shirt, a bird, a dog. Bitch, after a while, when our mind gets played with enough, it's fucking. Motherfucking. And it don't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's responsible. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that this is the way everything should go. I'm telling y'all motherfucking ass that's the way it is. You play with anybody too much with a particular person, place, or thing, we're gonna eventually detach psychologically from the shit for the sake of freeing ourselves. I don't give a fuck if it's a piece of bread. Keep acting like I ain't finna give you the bread. Now sit your ass down. After a while, who fuck you in that bread? Hey nigga, fuck you in that little change you was finna give me.
And that's a fact, because at the end of the day, none of this shit work. None of this shit matter. If God say sacrifice it, including the baby, as a man, because we follow and we supposed to be worshiping the Most High, as a man, we got to sacrifice it. We got to go like Abraham and walk him to the hill. and wait for God's order. So I know none of us fathers is running around here being manipulated out of our Holy Spirit, chasing behind some child that got a hell of a mother. I know none of us is doing that, because that'll take us off our purpose, and our purpose is to put our Lord on our pedestal. Remember, we have a jealous God, bro. He don't like that shit. He don't want us to put nobody first. He want him to be put first. So you go chasing behind some old raggedy-minded bitch who's alienating you if you want to, bro. You go to court, you get your visitation rights, you know what I mean? You get the paperwork, and that don't guarantee you gonna get your kid now, but you made the effort, and you have the documentation, and you go on and let her do whatever she need to do. Because 9 times out of 10, they're all conditioned to painting this narrative. They all got to make themselves look like they're some strong and independent and in the struggle, and I'm struggling by myself because my homegirl is struggling by herself, and that's just the norm in our community. That's regular shit for them. They get big time clout points for that dumb shit, yo.
Women know a nigga if you don't do this, I ain't gonna give you the money. I ain't gonna fuck you. I go get the money from somewhere else. No human is gonna sit up and let you keep fucking with their psyche. After a while, they're gonna disattach mentally, and then physically they will disattach. And this is why people live right around the corner from where their kids live at. They don't even fuck with them people. And you can play crazy like you don't understand how logical this is, but based on how humans operate, this is what the fuck is going to go on. When a bitch realize some shit is out of their reach based on you playing these fucking games, all you're gonna do is end up with that thing by yourself. The same way some managers at some jobs don't watch a bitch walk the fuck out, or watch a bitch come in their office and say, do what you gotta do, then bitch, fire me. The fuck, y'all not finna keep stressing me the fuck out every week, talking about what you gonna do.
Period. I feel like I did that, like with my son, father. Like eventually, like I was pressing the issue, like the time, like trying to push forefront. You doing the money, but let's put some time in it so you could get to know him. Build some fiery, more pressure with him. And then eventually, I just was like, fuck that shit. Like I'm not even about to keep doing it, so I don't even call you. I don't even talk to you. I don't even bother you. I ain't even give a 2 fucks if you come on that. Like, and then I think my son, like,
but
after that,
Italy, you see how, and I want y'all to really understand this. You see how when she just described this, it's cool when she do it. It's cool for her to say, fuck that. But as soon as a nigga do it, the world is like, oh my God, he don't care about his kids. Oh my God. But as a mother, when she eventually got tired of the carrot being dangled in front of her and shit not working out, for her to say, fuck it, I ain't worried about no daddy. Me and my child gonna just go do this. Every bitch in the world can understand. Every bitch in the universe, in the universe, I get it. I understand why she ain't worried about that, because he was, but as soon as the table is turned, motherfuckers act delusional, look like a motherfucker, like you can't understand this. It's not hard.
It's not hard.
So if they get treated the same way, like I got treated the same way females treat dudes. So I know what it's like to have a female constantly threatening to take your kids. Mm-hmm. Well, he's not a female, but that shit is irritating. You constantly, every time I don't do shit you say do, or parent the way you say fucking parent, you threaten to keep my kids, or I can't never see my kids. And after eventually, I was like, nigga, shit, you raise them then. I'm not gonna keep arguing with you about my fucking kids because I'm not doing what you say do. So I know how men feel when women are constantly threatening them.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this, it's a beautiful space from me to y'all, from somebody that co-parenting comes easy, right? And this is even when the person and you are wildly different with y'all perspectives, wildly different with how y'all live y'all lives, wildly different with y'all beliefs, right? It comes easy when you are not trying to control the other person. So from a co-parenting space, I don't give a fuck what kind of father my children's dad wants to be. As long as my children are safe and as long as they get an experience with that other side, I don't give a fuck. And I don't want the other person to give a fuck about what kind of mother I'm choosing to be, as long as these children are safe when they're under my care. If they can get returned to you and they're unharmed, and they can get returned to me when they're unharmed, bro, we good. The problem is people are parenting in their ego. You want to control and manipulate and influence how the other person is themselves with their child. And that is not logical. It's not real. It does not work. Hence the reason.
And that's facts, guys. And going back to my soil, flower, plant, sun, environment theory, guys. What she's saying is, no matter what parent you are, either you're the sun or you're the soil. You can't be both. So you pick which parent do you want to be. You pick that. And you worry about your task. The soil, you don't get to worry about when the sun come out, when the rain, and when it rain and all that. All you get to worry about is your part in being the soil. Likewise, sun, you just got to worry about providing that sunlight, going up and coming down, going up and coming down. You don't get to worry about what the soil is mixing and doing down there. You do your task, they do their task, and voila, the tree will be formed. Easy, easy.
Why there are so many bitter bitches and angry niggas in regards to co-parenting. It is freeing as a woman to understand whatever experience my children get with their father is whatever he wants to give them, and it is not on me to be a part of that. A beautiful thing about being an individual such as myself, that I was raised with both my mother and my father. My father was able to father me and my siblings however the fuck that he wanted. My mother was able to parent and mother us however the fuck she wanted. When it got to a point where it was understood that as individual grown adults, we are in charge of only ourselves. When this was understood, it became a beautiful child experience. I got the best out of my father when there's no bitch to tell him how to operate with me. I learned my best lessons from him in his element as a man without some grandma or some mama telling him how to move and operate with me. I got the real from my mother by her being able to be a mom without a nigga or a granddaddy telling her what type of mother or woman to be. A lot of y'all don't got this much maturity in you in this moment, and you need to aim for that. You don't get to tell a nigga what kind of father he gets to be, even if he's not doing what you feel like is a good job. Guess what? You're not the boss of nobody but your motherfucking self and your children when they under your care. That's it. That's all.
But they will never get that concept, love, because they already think they not responsible for their coochie. They don't think they responsible for unprotected sex. You see how it just goes to the conditioning of the way these people are programmed. It's sad. It's sad. They're never gonna get this concept. They will never get this concept because they don't get the concept that they were responsible for their own coochie. They want to blame the man though, but the man not. But what about the man? But what about the man? So they won't get this concept right here. And they don't teach this in them schools. And your moms don't teach this either.
That's it. That's all. You are only in charge of you. He is only in charge of he. So if he want to be a weekend dad or a once a month dad or a 2 times a year dad,
or leave it in type nigga, or no condom type nigga, that's on him. What type of woman do you want to be? This is why we are responsible for our own private parts. Bingo.
That is his choice. It's not your motherfucking business. If you want to be a once a month mom or all day mom or 2 times a year mom, that is your business. It's not his business. Is everybody clear on that concept?
Mm-hmm. I'm clear on it, right? But then my problem is this. I'm clear on that. But when it comes to the safety part, like, because you just said something about safety, right?
Yep.
So
and let me tell you something, Italy. Before you say...
Here we go with the stump the teacher shit. And you ma'am, that question was too rapid fire for you to have sat there and let what we just went over sink in. You got to process the information before you go throwing out the stump the teacher shit and try to defy the science.
Say what you gonna say. Please know who you talking to. And if you make up, and I'm not saying like make up like lie, but if you say some sort of fake ass, right, bullshit, where you trying to make us believe the child's safety is in danger when you laid up with the nigga in them same situations and never felt like it was no real danger when he was dicking you down, I'm gonna call you out on it. So continue with what you gonna say, but just know I
ain't nobody fucking with Love Dorsey, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, and I stand on whatever I say out my mouth. I told y'all, when it comes to changing and fixing these women and calling these women out, not worrying about Pookie, or not even so much worrying about what modern woman is doing to the weak, dumb niggas that keep messing with them. When it comes to actually changing these women, giving us at least something to deal with when we get off our purpose and we ready to settle down, it's nothing fucking with Love. Love Dorsey is the end-all be-alls. Now these niggas, they done paid to sit in her class here and get a licking. And that's where it's gonna start. See, a lot of women and a lot of you niggas is scared to get a whipping. You scared to get your rights read to you. You see, y'all don't hang around niggas that'll read you your rights. You know what I mean? Y'all don't hang around people that'll tell you the truth about yourself. So you get triggered very easy when you hear the truth about yourself, about your ways. But that's where the healing gonna start. When you start identifying it and you start hearing it and you get tired of hearing the wickedness in your ways and you start fixing it and changing it. Salute to the sisters that's here though. But oh God, man, I can't wait to hear this.
I don't go for that.
Nah, so the safety, because my son 13, so he could speak for his own safety concern. Okay. So when it comes to the line drawn in between, my concerns is, all right, like you said, he could be he could be how many fucking days out the year of a dad he want to be.
Yep, and you're not the boss of that.
I'm not. I don't care about that. You could see him tomorrow, I could see him next year. Who cares? Fine. I'm not the boss of that. But when you do see him and then he comes back with these safety concerns that he voices to me, and then I voiced it to you, and then it's just
listen, right? A child not being safe is your child being delivered back to you where something has happened that has affected his safety physically, mentally, or emotionally, right?
Yes.
So obviously if your child is being physically abused, right?
And this is the thing, you can't really say it's abuse. I mean, you could, but you can't because it's, again, all right, I seen him 1 week, and then it's to the point where, and like you say, you can call me out.
All right, give me 1 second, class. Let me go to the part 2.
Can't get their way, or I didn't do something that I said I was going to do in regards to us going somewhere or doing something. So be specific with us with what you're talking about.
I'm going to be specific. I'm saying the reason why I'm going to get to that part last, but so I'm being specific. Okay, so my son, he hit him before it caught a CFSA case for child abuse. He had to take anger management classes. He got charged for it because he dropped him off. Then I took him to the hospital, and when I took him to the hospital, I didn't go to the hospital saying, my son probably busted him out. I said I was going to say he fell on the fucking playground and hit his fucking
so back up. All right, so back up. Your child's father.
He punched my son in the mouth and split his lip where he had to get stitches.
Okay, cool.
But he dropped him off to his grandparents' house. So when I picked him up, his lip was messed up.
Okay, pause. Pause. So that is...
Wait, you said your baby father punched your son in the mouth, punched his son in the mouth. Just punched it. Are you sure that's the story, man? They wasn't playing football, or he didn't slap him in the mouth, like pop him in the mouth because he was cursing or something, like... He just punched him in the mouth?
Here's an example of physical safety, right? So if you pick up your son and his lip is split, and it's split based on his father's choice on how he was disciplining him, but you see that it physically harmed the child, you take your child to the hospital, you go over specifically what happened. Obviously, you have a conversation with your baby daddy, and whatever consequences that he faces through what the law says he shouldn't have been doing based on the safety of the child, that is on him.
Right.
What is
so
that? That's still so.
You got that right.
So with that being said,
I just want to get this one little thing in. You just said that, right? So I'm just trying to make sure because I'm trying to figure. And that moment, my son was probably 9. Since then, it's been a strain on the relationship. That it's been. I don't know. Maybe
a strain on what? Pause. So let me go back.
It's been like from then he just maybe that's what distanced the relationship from him and my son too.
Of course.
I don't know.
Italy. Of course it did. Of course it did, honey. Do you understand? This is what I'm telling you. Your baby daddy is allowed to be whatever type of father he wants. Whatever your son and him got into as boy to me.
Yo, it sound like she sound rough. I'm not even gonna hold you. She sound like she be beating the child ass too on some physical shit. She sound like she be beating the baby father ass, yo. So I don't know. This story sound boop, boop, boop. And I don't know why she'd throw it out there. I don't get what, like, let's proceed.
Man, he popped his ass in the mouth.
Right.
When he brought him back, he was physically harmed. As a mother, you took him to the hospital. The authorities got involved. Whatever fucking consequences that your baby daddy faced from what he did is on him as a man. That still don't got shit to do with you controlling or deciding their relationship. Obviously, common sense. If the authorities got involved and he had to go through, the little parenting plan to be able to get back around his child and whatever probation or whatever, that's on him. It still doesn't require you to make any new rules on your end as a mother because he's facing his legal consequences that will take him through the proper channels. And if I'm the child that possibly acted up with his dad.
Right, yo, you're not God, man. If that's the answer you want, you're not God. You're not God. You still got to control you. If the son fuck up and the son don't come up and go down, and it don't come up and go down the way it should, you don't got to worry about that. You still a soil. Now you got to make the adjustments and do what it is you got to do. Yes, you still need that sunlight. Your seeds still need that sunlight, but the sunlight bugging the fuck out right now. That don't give you the right to stop doing what you do as the soil. You know what I mean? Come on now. Come on. It's easy. It's logic.
Dad and got popped in the mouth, and that caused my dad to go to jail and some friction with my dad and my mom, and I got some emotional damage to me and physical damage based on me feeling like my daddy shouldn't hit me like that. Of course our relationship is going to be strained. Guess who it's on to fix that relationship?
It's on them.
Okay, so mind your motherfucking business.
Point blank.
Respectfully.
So I've been doing that, so now it's just
Tell her one more time, love. One more time.
Our relationship is going to be strained. Guess who it's on to fix that relationship?
It's on them.
Okay, so mind your motherfucking business. Respectfully.
Right, so I've been doing that. So now it's just so now it's to the point now. Okay, rewind. That was probably like 9 years ago. My son 13 under. That probably was like 5 or 6 years ago. So we back now to.
That was 9 years ago. Why would you bring that up, man? And then let's go back to your story. You said you brought him to the hospital and you was going to tell the hospital that he just fell on his face. What kind of games are you playing though? Like, this be the shit I mean, guys. It be the quality of woman you choose to lay down and play that stick it in, stick it out game with, bro. It's 2024, bro. We want the whole loaf. We ain't fucking with these half loaf females, bro.
He 13. He in this position where he in this, this facility where he's been doing things, and now I'm trying to figure out. It's to the point where he done been to visit them 3 times. I went to maybe 1 visit with them, but that's after the first visit. I allowed him to go because, again, I can't say, oh, you can't come visit your son. I don't have the right to do that.
But why would that even be? This is what I'm saying. Why would that even be considered?
Because it's been every visit has been a hard visit for my son. It's been hard for both of them because I can't just, it could have been a hard visit.
Okay,
for
but that's Italy. Again, that's their...
So do I allow that to keep going on?
Italy. This is what I'm saying. And I'm going to say it again. You are not in control. This is what's wrong with us as women. And I love that this is coming up. So I love that Italy is sharing this. You're not in fucking control of nobody seeing a child. You're not a fucking judge. You're not no police officer. You don't have the authority to do that. And I get that we've been programmed in the black community as women to feel like whenever I think things are getting too uncomfortable, it's going to be my job to cut your other half off like they weren't a part of making you. Bitch, get a grip. It ain't your job. Hold on. But listen to what I'm saying. It ain't your motherfucking job to even consider Xing out that line. As your son gets older, if his father is not his cup of tea, they will organically create a separation amongst themselves. Mind your motherfucking business respectfully. Of course, it's going to be uncomfortable. Of course, as a father, he's being faced with his failures in regards to his son being locked up or being in whatever program. Of course, as a son, his ass probably was being hard-headed at times, and some of the shit his daddy probably popped his ass in the mouth for is part of the reason why he locked the fuck up in that program. Let them niggas organically get their bond. Mind your motherfucking business. Do your visits. Worry about if your visits with your son are going good. If the ones with his daddy ain't going good, that's on him and his motherfucking daddy. If his daddy and him have too many uncomfortable visits to the point where they stop seeing each other or the daddy stop going up there, let that be because of them and nothing to do with you as the mother.
Right, so
do you understand what I'm saying?
Point, right? Yeah, it's at that point, but I be like trying to, like, I don't want no problems with the man though. If I could make it work, I'm like the type of person.
But I don't see
want that though.
Okay, Italy, I'm not saying you want it, babe. I don't see.
Sis, mind your business, yo. Go find you a goal, get you a book, and write some goals down and focus on that, yo. Focus on that, sis. Go sit your stupid ass down, yo.
I haven't heard a problem yet that pertains to you. You've told us your son and his father's problems, which outside of you just being an emotional support or a listening ear to your son when he wants to vent about his father and you giving him whatever mom advice you want to give him, I don't see where you actually have a problem. I see where your son and his father have a problem. I don't see where you have a problem, babe. I don't.
So for me and him, the conflict, it comes, I don't know, maybe it's drawn out from me wanting him to have the relationship with my son. So I'm trying to figure, I'll be like, I guess a middleman, like I'm the middleman, like,
yeah, but that's why.
I'm telling my son, fuck him, none of that bad shit. I'll be like,
listen, babe. If you,
so I just need to shut the fuck up and get out of it.
Mind your motherfucking business. Respectfully. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna let you talk, Frank. I'm telling you this, Italy, because however that man and his son relationship turn out, it needs to turn out like that because of those two. Get out of this control complex space you in. I'm telling you this as a mother. It is a beautiful thing to know that my relationship with my child is solely about me and my child. And the relationships that they have with other people is about them and that other person, be it their dad, their grandmother, their aunt. My children have their own organic perspective of people in our family, and they have their own resourceful space with that adult that has nothing to do with me. So if they fall out with their grandma, or they beefing with their daddy and they don't want to go with him, or they whatever, guess what? I get to sit back and feel peaceful that it don't got shit to do with me. Half the stuff, I don't allow them to come and gossip to me about it. I make them, or I push them to call the other person. If you're looking for my opinion, and I make it clear to them, this will be my opinion. It's not law. I'm your mama, but only thing that's law are the things that are agreed upon between me and you as mother and child. But anything else, if you want to come to me and, hey, Mom, this happened with Dad and this was going on and what you think about this, I can give you my opinion. But my opinion, my view, my perspective don't hold no motherfucking weight between what you doing with you and your daddy. I'm not your daddy. I'm not you. I don't have to experience that. I don't have to live that. And the consequences of however it turn out, it does not affect me the way it affects you. Mind your business respectfully. You don't have a problem. Your baby daddy and your son have a problem. But then again,
I might do got a problem. Then I should just focus on what I got going on. For me and him. I mean,
for you and your son.
Like I have a problem,
right.
But
if you, but listen to what I'm saying. You don't. What you've said to us so far, none of that is your problem. It's your son and his dad's problem. Now, I'm sure there are things that you and your son have friction on or uncomfortable conversations. Those are things that, like on a one-on-one, you and I can discuss for you to become better as a parent, right? On your end. But the stuff with...
And that be the stuff that be killing me. They be so focused in on the relationship that the child have with their father, but they don't know about the relationship that they have no information for the relationship for them and the child. That be the problem. They be so focused on what the dad is not doing that they never pour into themselves. They never go see about themselves so that they can provide the information that the child need. Because they think that by buying them Jordans and buying them Balenciagos and keeping them up to date and fresh to death, they think that that's being a good parent. Oh, my kid ain't gonna know the struggle. That's the shit they say. My kid don't know struggle, but he don't know nothing else that he gonna need when he grow up. He don't know struggle, but he don't know nothing else either. Survival mode shit, yo.
With your baby daddy, that's problems with him and your son. That's not no co-parenting problems. You just sticking your nose in business that got to do with boys and men that don't got nothing to do with you. And I want to know, not just from her.
And I know that, though.
Right.
And I just need to hear it, though.
Yeah, and I respect that.
I need to hear that.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. It ain't too many women in this world that could sit here and have this conversation with me that I'm having with you. They'd have been wanting to fight me, or been wanting to defend themselves, or been wanting to go into their single mama minded view. They probably would have hopped out the Zoom.
I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, but if I gotta say, stay out of it, I need to focus on what I need to do for me and my son.
But I want to give you your Italy. I want to give you your flowers. Only a growth-minded woman can sit here and talk to me about this shit and take it. On a daily basis, I make hoes cry. I make bitches go run to their mama and gossip and wish that I fall off the fucking internet forever. I make bitches pray to God that my page disappear. I make hoes go to fucking the Babaloos and pray that they put a spell on me and I lose all the knowledge I got. That's what, these the kind of feathers I ruffle and po-minded ass bitches. You not one of them women because you able to have this conversation with me. So I want to know, to the other women in the room, do y'all understand what I'm explaining to her?
Yeah.
Frank, you had something you wanted to add, and I know I had kept going.
Yeah, I wanted to add to Italy. It's cool how you feel and what you think, because I was the same way. It kind of works the same way because I'm a single father, and just what you explaining to her, I explained the same shit. And just how you feel, I felt the same fucking way. And that comes on just the knowing. When my son talking to his mom, I don't like the way she fucking talk to him. Mm-hmm. I don't like the things that she say.
And Frank be wanting to get involved.
She don't come. She don't pick him up.
He be wanting to get involved.
And I be want to cuss that bitch. I was like, man, fuck her. I'm telling you, that thing used to set me off about my child. So when I did the same thing you doing right now. Talking, telling my perspective, how I feel. I know what that motherfucker doing. She's supposed to come pick him up. She don't do that. Like all that. And she told the same shit she told you.
Same thing.
I stepped back and how long it's been, love? About 8 months?
Yep.
Maybe longer than that.
And I love that Frank is...
stuff that I know, the same stuff I know about my baby mama, now my son is starting to know the same thing that I'm trying to prevent from happening. It's happening to him, and I ain't got shit to do with it. Not a damn thing. And now my son telling me, like, yeah, my mama is, I've been calling her for 2 weeks, and it's a pattern. This coming from my son. I said, what? Yeah. Okay. And love was getting on my fucking nerves about that shit. I was like, man, fuck. I don't want to fucking do it. But you know what? She told me that's what I got to do. I stopped doing this shit with an attitude. But now I'm getting the benefits of that. It's coming back to me. But now I'm making him go talk to his mom about it.
Yes, he's staying out of it. Italy, Frank, I told Frank the same thing I'm telling you. Mind your motherfucking business. Leave that lady alone. The lady could be whatever kind of mama she want to be. If she only want to come around once a week, if she only talk to him once a month, you stay out of it so you're not the reason for their friction or however their mom-son relationship turns out. Mind your... No, it's not. It's not. I'm going to tell you. It's Italy. Italy.
We could communicate. That's the fucked part. Like, we could communicate on some things. Like, he could call me up, hey, what, you know, we can have conversations.
Baby, I want you to listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. I want you to understand, right? We didn't have babies out of marriages where we were aligned.
Yeah, no, this the same nigga that told me when I was pregnant, she didn't want a baby. So when you said, I'm like, that's my relationship. I get this shit.
Okay, but Italy, what I'm saying, listen what I'm saying, babe. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. There are the situations where children were born from marriages, legal commitments where both parties under the law signed a document and said, we are becoming one, right? And those parents became one with the idea that their life was going to head in the same direction. The children that we in here talking about, a good majority of them came from fucking on somebody. She keeping it real, right? The person we fucking on, over time, we realized, right? Similar to like Italy just said, when you peed on the stick and you realized you was pregnant, or you went to the doctor and you realized you was pregnant, me and this person don't even have the same view about wanting to have the child, right? So when you birth a baby with someone that y'all don't even have the same views about having the child, right? All this talking and shit that females be wanting to do, what the fuck are you talking about? The man don't discipline the way that you discipline. He didn't want the child in the ways that you wanted the child. He don't view the relationship and the situation the way that you view it. So what is all this talk gonna be about? My nigga, be the kind of mom.
And all they gonna say is, well, he shouldn't have left it in. But bitch, you stuck with this baby now. You got this baby forever, and you did let him fuck raw. You did choose to lay down with him and let him fuck raw, man. So, you know what I mean? That shit ain't gonna help. He shouldn't have left it in. That shit is not gonna help nothing, sis.
Mama, you want to be, allow him to be the kind of father that he wants to be, and coach and push and mold your son to be the type of person that can flow through the experience without losing himself. The experience of you and the experience of what type of man his father is, because bitch, you picked him and he picked you.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So all this, it is immature and childlike when you see baby mamas do the whole, we need to just talk about this. Why are you trying to pretend as though a talk is going to be productive with someone that you have no aligned view? What you're trying to do is be seen. What you're trying to do is get attention. What you're trying to do is control the other person's perspective, views, and behavior with quote unquote your child. And this is the same thing I put into perspective for Frank. It just so happens men usually catch on to logic quicker than women. It took a half a conversation for Frank to realize everything she's saying is going to be better for my son, for me, and my baby mama. Frank had a lot of the views that y'all have in regards to the woman not moving the correct way, and he wasn't wrong in regards to what he and I believe a parent or a positive mother role model should look like. But do me or Frank or any of y'all have control over what the fuck this woman do or don't do with her son? No, we don't. So it's a waste of motherfucking time. Mind your business. Be the best parent that you could be. Make sure that your child has a solid experience with both parents so they can grow up to be well-rounded. Not perfect, right? But well-rounded. Not perfect, but not purposely made into a fucking statistic.
Right.
Yeah, I feel that, because we both got different views. Like he will have his own viewpoint on the environment that I got my son in. And then I'm like, you know, you got your own belief, but just because my shit is building projects and your shit is a housing project.
But listen, it ain't, but Italy, it's no but.
It's like,
it ain't Italy, it's no but. It's just what you said. You got your own view, I got my own view. Leave it at that. What you were about to go into was going to be a comparison and almost a defense of how you living versus how he living versus how he feel versus how you feel. When talking about co-parenting, with all due respect, we don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck if your lifestyle is any better than your baby daddy lifestyle. Your child needs both of y'all. So when he say
stuff like that, I just need to block that out. Nah, we ain't talking about that.
It's not
what we discussed.
It's not that
Let's discuss Elijah and Elijah own.
But it's not that we're blocking it out. It doesn't have to do with what is necessary to raise Elijah. I don't have to say this with an attitude. I don't have to feel some type of way about it. if I'm co-parenting with you, whether you male or female, baby daddy or baby mama, if you start to bring up things that I know we have differences of perspective and perception that we're allowed to have, and these things don't have anything to do with what I'm gonna do after this conversation with my son or what you're gonna do, we don't have to have that conversation. Half the time with these co-parenting situations, we're talking about stuff that we don't need to talk about. So now let's take a step back. Somebody brought up different views in parenting. Do we all understand now that that is normal?
Yes.
Do we all understand now that that is not a problem? It's actually something that if you understand it's an experience and that it allows you to learn, it's something that you welcome. I welcome my son or my daughter getting my viewpoint, but also getting their father's viewpoint. It's going to help them be able to look about the world and realize things aren't done one way. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Does anybody have any questions on the thought that was brought up about difference of views on parenting being some giant problem in regards to co-parenting?
Yeah.
If you got a question, ask me.
Can you reword what you just said?
So it was brought up by one of you guys when I asked, what do you see as your biggest issue with co-parenting? It was brought up different views on parenting, right? Common sense is, of course, we're going to have different views on parenting. Because guess what? Where do you get your views on parenting?
Right, we don't want to have the same views on parenting. We don't want to have the same views in life, period. Because then that means our child gonna be one-dimensional. The different views is what the child gonna use. He gonna use your point of view, he gonna use my point of view, and he gonna put that together with his point of view and become great. Y'all be wanting to get a kid tunnel vision and shit, bro. Because y'all used to being raised by one point of view, one perspective. Your mama, your mama, your mama, your mama, your mama, your mama. What your mama said, your mama, your mama. You know what I mean? Y'all got to get out of that.
Get it from your upbringing, your programmed beliefs, from your early childhood experiences, and what you were raised to believe, your generational curses, the stuff that you've experienced. So unless you fucked and made a baby with your brother that had the exact childhood experiences you had, of course, we're going to have different views on parenting. This is actually normal. And of course, when it comes to parenting views, similar to money, emotions come about when we talk about this kind of stuff. So knowing that I could get emotional the same way the other person could get emotional, right? It's an experience. It's not anything that we have to beef or control each other over or manipulate the situation to go in one direction or the other. Does that answer your question, Ophelia?
Yes, it did. Thank you, love.
Does anybody else have any questions on understanding that different views on parenting is normal? So for example, I'm sure if the person that spoke up earlier, if she had the same experience with her son that the father did, she probably wouldn't have punched him in the mouth because her view on discipline and parenting may be different than his. And that's okay.
Hey, love, speak on co-parenting with a stepfather or a boyfriend that you taking serious.
We getting up because somebody mentioned an outside opinion, right? So does anybody have any other questions on the different views on parenting? It is normal. And yes, it will be uncomfortable sometimes to hear that your baby daddy wants your kids to go to this kind of school and you want them to go to this one. Or you feel like they shouldn't be doing this and he feels like they shouldn't be doing that, right? It's going to be uncomfortable. Compromise is necessary, and allowing your child to experience stuff that the man wants them to do, as well as things that you want them to do, is a well-rounded upbringing. It's about balance. Anybody got any questions on understanding that? Now, there will be some conflict resolution skills that are needed, right? And there will be some healthy communication skills that will be needed with the consideration of each other's personality in order to navigate these different views on parenting. Is there anybody that has one particular example of differences in views on parenting that they feel like they cannot see a solution to?
Me.
Go ahead.
Don't be a stepdad. They get no fucking respect. Don't be a fucking stepdad. I'm telling you.
Christine.
I don't talk to my boy's dad that much, but I'm trying to figure out how to word it. My kids are 14 and 11. So there's certain things where, okay, let's just say half on sports. My kids want to do sports, and it's like, you don't pay child support, any of that. Mm-hmm. He doesn't feel like he needs to go half on sports because he feels like I am conditioning them to believe that this is what they need. Mm-hmm. So he feels like because it's too much of my influence on it, mm-hmm. that he doesn't want to go in on it. But it's not my influence, it's actually their decisions and their mm-hmm. choices. Mm-hmm. And so when they ask, he tells them no. Okay. So when I ask, he should say, so I don't know where to go.
Okay. You don't have, so I'm gonna tell you this, Christine, you don't have a choice. You can't make that man pay for some shit that he don't feel like is a necessity to pay for. But I will say this, in his, because I understand what you're saying and I believe you, in his experience with his sons, for whatever reason, he has himself believing that they don't actually want to play these sports outside of you influencing them to, right? And he's allowed to feel like that. And guess what? You're not there during his experiences and his conversations with his sons, so you can't even tell us that it's not an accurate assessment. You can only say what you feel based on what you know to be true, right? So if you want them to play sports and you feel like sports are important, get on your fucking grind and create some extra income, which I'm sure you're already doing, and pay for it your fucking self and leave that man alone about paying for some shit that he told your ass he don't want to pay for. The same way. And I'm not saying that you're bothering him or trying to make him pay for it.
Oh, no, right. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm going off of what you just, the scenario you put out there. And I would tell him the same thing if I was talking to him and it was something he was saying that you won't pay for. I get that you feel like she should. I don't disagree from you and what you explained, that that's your perspective, but you don't get to tell Christine what the fuck she got to put her money in on or not. You ain't her daddy. You not her motherfucking boss. As a mother, she can pay for what the fuck she want and not pay for what she don't want. We have to get out of these beliefs of control. Right. And I want y'all to understand, we get them from our upbringing, because a lot of us have watched our mamas, our aunties, our granddaddies, our uncles, our dads do controlling ass shit where they feel like they can make somebody be the sort of parent they want. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna say this again. There is peace in being able to parent and know I have no responsibility in how or why or what happens in my child's relationship with their other parent as we co-parent. There is I wake up with a lightness knowing my children's relationship with their other parent is based organically on what those create, not me. I'm on my own motherfucking business.
So I haven't only, asked once. So am I doing it correctly by allowing my 14-year-old, like, if you want to play basketball,
if he tell you he want, if he tell you he want to pay for it, and don't send them to ask their dad when you already know their dad's you.
That's where I was getting at. I was going to ask you, would it be wrong if I teach? Okay.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. What I'm saying is, from what I was told as y'all mama, your dad is not going to pay for this, but I'm willing to pay for it. It's not that big of a deal, son. If you want to play, we'll make sure you play. And your dad will come to games and support you once you play. He got his own view and he's allowed to have that. Children need to see you as the mother, us as women, being mature about a man putting his foot down about stuff he do and don't want to do. Christine, why do those boys need to see you respecting their father saying no to certain stuff that you disagree with? Why do they need to see that?
That's incredible. See what I mean? You see what I mean? And this is why y'all need to go get yourself fixed and y'all need to go see about yourself. Don't even understand. That's why I told y'all, you ask them a question to why. Why should the kid listen to you? Why should the kid worship you? They wouldn't even know the answer to that. He needs to see that, sis, so he know that when he say no and when he set boundaries, it's okay. He can say no to a female. He can set boundaries, ma'am. That's the answer. You saw the gap? You saw how long it took her to answer that? When think about that, play that back.
I need to see that.
Somebody so they don't become punks to other women.
There you go. If I'm raising boys, I need my boys to see even me conform to a man getting his way with stuff so that when these boys grow up, they can understand women do not always give the final say in things. And see, we don't realize as single mothers, it's what we're teaching our kids when they only see everything done mama way. And that's why half of these niggas that's raised by just women get out here and they operate like hoes with females.
Yeah, I was making sure I was going the right way.
Then and then look, she still want to lie. I'm making sure I'm going the right way. You took too long, man. But then they'll stick their hands in their pocket and be like, it's nothing but weak men. After babying one of those weak men. Crazy, bro.
Well, because, you know, sometimes people in our circle, they don't have the knowledge that you have. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I think I'm doing it right, but I'll ask my mentor first before I listen to y'all asses, because I have peace over here. He don't bother me. I don't bother him. I ask him once, he say no. It's no. My boys is cool with the no, and we move on and we do what we do. So I just want to make sure, like, just in case anybody in the book club too had the same issue, I want to make.
Listen, your kid, boys and girls, need to see this. I know this so well that even in my experiences with co-parenting, there are times like, you know, if my daughter's dad wants to get her hair done a certain way, I might not like the hairstyle, and I will vocally say this: I don't like that. You can get your hair done like that. I don't like it, but if that's what he said he's getting, that's what you got to get, child. Get what he wants you to get. I want her to see me lay down or compromise to her father making a choice. She does not need to see women bossing situations all the time. Otherwise, she gonna grow up and be masculine as fuck, trying to boss situations all the time and ain't gonna be able to get a man. She not gonna have companionship, because grown men that are providers, men, the type of men that we want, that will lead and things like that, bro, you have to allow them to make decisions, and sometimes it will be stuff that you don't want. You have to let your kids see you compromise just as much as they see you make decisions, and you have to let them see you mind your motherfucking business. Everything don't got to be brought to your fucking mammy. That's why a lot of us date men, boys, that go back and tell they mama shit, or hoes. Some of y'all niggas got babies with bitches that when she get mad at you, she go tell her mama on you, and her mama calling your phone. Bitch, your mama don't run shit over here. Just because you was programmed to believe your mama get to tell everybody in the family what to do, you gonna get your mama black ass cussed the fuck out. Or left on fucking red, or blocked.
Exactly.
Grown folk do not conform to other people mammies. Now, I will respect your mother if you keep the appropriate boundaries, right? Based on us being grown. But bitch, I've been at my mama's house. Your mama don't run shit over here. Just like my mama don't. You want to call your mama and be on the titty at 35 or 40? Do that. That ain't gonna go on over here. But there are a lot of adults, meaning they're adults of age, but they don't understand this concept. So they'll call their mammy on you. Then when you about to slap the shit out of their mama, now they feel like you doing something wrong. You should have told your mama to stay in the mama's place. This don't got shit to do with her. But when you was younger, you never saw your mama stay in a mama's place. That's why you believe you need to call her for things or matters that don't have shit. Don't be that mother where your child calling you for shit, where this is when the things I taught you are supposed to kick in. Conflict resolve, discernment on what choices to make, what to walk away from, what not to walk away from. This is what turned boys into men and girls into women.
So Dorsey, is that the same concept as, for example, the little boys that we be having issues with out here? They're taught that I don't care if your brother is wrong. You step in and you fight. I don't teach my kids that because I feel like it's not teaching them proper, problem solving skills. If you out there starting shit, I don't feel like it's right for your brothers to jump in a one-on-one issue. I don't know. I just don't think that's right. But what's your view on that?
It's just lessons of safety. Like when you talk to grown men, because this is a thing, you're raising black boys, right?
Yeah.
The experience that black men have in the world is not the same of any other race of men, nor is it anything that even a black woman has the capacity to relate to the experience without being them. So when I say this, what I mean is anger looks different on black men than it does on black women or any other race of men or women. The obstacles because of that are faced, right, in this world, boys have to be taught not, only to stick together, but to stick together with safety and smart choice being at the forefront of the decision making. So if you're asking my personal opinion, if I'm raising sons, I'm never going to teach them to abandon one another during conflict. But what I am going to teach them is to hold each other accountable so that niggas outside of y'all brotherly bond don't have to. Right? So the idea is I'm not going to leave my brother to take a fade from some niggas by himself, but I will be that voice to teach him how to walk the fuck away or stand his ground enough to get out of the situation before we get locked the fuck up, because they lock black men up easily than any other race of men or gender in this fucking world.
Big facts.
And this is why black boys
meaning let me read it. Let me go in on that, because that's a good point right there. And if that nigga your friend, before he do that robbery or before he do the funny shit that's gonna get him killed, you should check him. You should if that's your friend, then you should check him. He shouldn't just be your friend when he laying in the casket because somebody put him down for doing some dumb shit. Now you crying and that's your best friend. If that really is your friend, then you check them. You don't condone dumb shit. You don't condone sin. You know what I mean? You don't ha-ha and he with the sin until something happened. That's pretty much what she was saying.
This is why black boys need that experience from men. And you don't have to like these men in regards to wanting to be in a relationship with them. It don't have to be somebody you want to be with. You could be mad at your baby daddy lifestyle, but the experience that your baby daddy can offer him about the world viewing you as a black man could only come from him or a fellow black man. It cannot come from a bitch or a grandmother or a big mama. Hoes don't know the things that men face in the world, especially black men.
That can ruin the relationships of the brothers too. As they get older, like they're gonna be around, they're gonna be out in the world. So if you teach your boys that there's a lot of other.
And that's our conclusion, guys. That's all we got for today. I hope y'all didn't miss the message. It was many gems that was dropped today. Go over it, share, like if you want to. You know what I mean, guys? Definitely put this in one of your save playlists. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all guys later. Take it to the comment section. Let's run this one up. This information need to get out there, guys. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later, man.
Put your hands together, Mr. Goodbread.